Hi everyone. It's been a while since I came online and made a live, I have to admit. Maybe a few days ago, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's been a while. So I thought I'd come online. Um, okay, the aim is to do a short video, but knowing me and how long it takes for me to get to the point, anticipate a longer one, okay? I'm endeavoring to make a short video, but anticipate a longer video. Now, I made a recent post on Facebook and on my Instagram and on my Twitter, both on Fabian Deacon's channels and Empress Justice Tarot's channels, of a professional gang stalker who came online basically just to re-trigger targeted individuals and waste everyone's time with basically truth mixed with lies and deliberately stupid statements to get a rise out of targeted individuals. So that's basically what they were there for. They were there to re-trigger everyone. They weren't there to recruit anybody, as one TI thought. They weren't there to recruit anybody. They weren't there to see who'd be a good candidate. They were just there to waste people's time, really. Even if, you know, the perp was mixing truth with lies, it's something that only a perp would do anyway. So it's proof enough that gang stalking is real. Once again, it's proof that gang stalking is real, because ain't nobody wasting their time on people that they think are paranoid schizophrenic. Do you understand what I mean? So if you want to find that post, you can find it on my Instagram. You can find it everywhere on my Instagram. I've got like 4 accounts. They're on all 4 accounts. You can find it on all 4 accounts on Instagram. T.I. Fabian, The Real Fabian Deacon, Empress Justice Tarot, and Empress Justice Daily. You can find screenshots, not the entire conversation between them and everybody else, but you can find the most important pointers in the screenshots on all of my Instagram. But if you want a more reliable more reliable screenshots, basically you can see them in full, then it's better that you go to my Twitter, Serpentine Fire. The Twitter handle is at Seraphim Rage 20. It's Seraphim Rage. So it's at Seraphim Rage. I think it's Seraphim Rage 25 or Seraphim Rage. I'll leave the link in the description. So if you want a clearer screenshot of the interaction between this professional gang stalker and other TIs, you can go to that page, because the post has been deleted now. I don't know how or why, but the post has been deleted. Either the post has been deleted or I've been blocked from it. I think it's been deleted personally, because if I was blocked, yeah, it would have operated differently. But yeah, so you can see that on X, Justice_Tarot at X as well. You can see that there. So the reason I bring that up, the reason why I bring up those posts, is because I made a point on that post about getting your affairs in order as a TI. Now, this is quite a difficult subject to talk about, because the thing is, when you're a targeted individual, all right, your emotions are going to be running high most of the time. So there's the danger that if you put all those powerful emotions towards thinking about death, then it's almost like you're manifesting your death early and you're writing your own ticket. That's how it feels when you're being subject to torture under this program and you start thinking about your death early. But this is something that I must impress upon all TIs. I don't care if you have a job or not. I don't care if you have a career or not. I don't care if you think you have property or don't have property. As long as you've bought something, you have property. And as long as you're being inherited something, which a lot of TIs are, you have property. And the last thing you want to do is leave yourself without a will so that it goes back into the hands of the syndicate, or it goes back into the hands of the same people who sold you out. That's the last thing that you want to do. You want to make sure everything that you have is well taken care of. Now, again, TIs have been stolen from, TIs have been burgled. I understand that. I can vibe with that. I get that. But whatever they let you hang on to, hand it over to someone else after you're gone. And when it comes to power of attorney, the last thing that you want is for that power of attorney to fall into the same state that is wrongfully and deliberately misdiagnosing you as paranoid schizophrenic when you talk about your targeting. That's the last thing you want. So please, for the love of God, the second you find out that you're a targeted individual, please understand that you are marked for death. They are not going to stop this gang stalking. It doesn't matter how much you sue or how much legal action you take. There have already been several other targeted individuals globally that have been murdered by this program and not seen justice. And it would be different if like gang stalking was successful. It's not successful. They're murdering people left and right when that was never the intention. The intention was behavioral control. But targeted individuals are dying left and right. The death of Dr. Robert Duncan should have been our wake-up call. If the death of no other targeted individual, David Scott Baker, that lady Billy, I can't remember, I think her name is Billy Caldwell. Billy Caldwell. Eliza Goldsmith, Lisa T.I., and Annie Caspar. All these targeted individuals that have died. Christopher Organ, I think it's Christopher Organtini. That's the young man's name, yeah. If those deaths are not a wake-up call already, then they should have been a long time ago. I know it's not entertaining to think about death and think about, but like, again, when you are a targeted individual, you're marked for death. They're not going to stop, and they're going to exhaust you at every opportunity before you even think about getting your justice. Start the other way around. Start backwards. If you know that the idea is to get you imprisoned, get you sectioned, or have you killed, well, killed is a last resort. They don't really want you killed. If they did, they'd do that within a week, right? You know they want to slowly kill you, and not only just slowly kill you, but make sure they drag it out in the most humiliating fashion they can find to do it. They want to humiliate you at every turn, rob you of your dignity. If you know that they're trying to do that, if you know that that's what they're trying to pull, get your affairs in order. The second you understand you're a TI, get them motherfucking affairs in order. Have somebody to leave your stuff to. Yes, some of your stuff will get stolen as a TI. No, the police won't do fuck all about it. It is what it is. Leave whatever you can. Leave whatever you can to people that either you trust or that you know will give you an advantage after you pass away. Really think to yourself, as a targeted individual, right? How can you fuck the gang stalkers from beyond the grave? That's what you want to aim for. You want to aim to fuck your gang stalkers from beyond the grave, because they're going to do the same thing to you. They did the same thing to Lisa T.I. by not investigating her death. They're going to fuck you over after you die. Even after you die, you won't be allowed dignity and you won't be allowed justice. So what is the best way for you to fuck them beyond the grave? You fuck with their assets. You fuck with their money. All the time, you fuck with their money. And the best way to do that is to have something in place legally. And to use all the safeguards of the law that are supposed to imprison you to your advantage. Get to know the law. Get to know your finances. It's a lot of paperwork. It can be very overwhelming emotionally. I'm trying to sort out my business right now, and it's very overwhelming for me to do so because there's a lot of stuff to sort out, and there's a lot of shame and humiliation to work through because, again, that's how gang stalking works. They want to humiliate you at every turn, and you have to sift through that on top of new situations that they want to humiliate you over. So I understand that it is very emotionally draining to deal with. But once you get it out of the way, baby, once you get that out of the way, I'm telling you, you would be amazed. I don't care if you're healthy, you're relatively healthy, you've got good health, you've got health and strength. I don't care. Prepare for your death and prepare for them incapacitating you. Have a power of attorney in place. And don't leave it to the state. Do not leave it to the state. And don't leave it to any abusive people in your life either. Let everybody know what time it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's so important that you have your shit set up. And yeah. You can look online how to write a will. Wills are quite cheap. The only thing that might be a bit pricey is getting a solicitor to act as a witness, or anybody professional to act as a witness. But you can look online for all kinds of information on how to write wills. I don't want to say too much because I want to give each TI their opportunity to do it in their own way. And I don't want to reveal too much, just in case they're ready for every TI's tactic. Do you understand what I mean? I don't want to reveal too much. You can look online as to how to write a will and how to write a power of attorney. You know, make sure you really get your shit together, get this together. Also, though, understand that you're not to blame that you didn't think of this earlier. I found out that I was a TI in my early 20s. I am almost 40. I'm going to be 40 next year. It's only now that I'm thinking of these things, more than almost 2 decades later. I'm thinking of this almost 2 decades later. You're talking about a decade plus change, and it's only now that I'm talking about wills and power of attorneys. I should have been thinking about that the second that I knew that I was a gangstalker, especially with my suicidal tendencies at the time. I should have been ready for my death rather than fearing my death. But the way gangstalking works is that they will weaponize your trauma against you. They will work on your pride. They will work on your shame to make you inactive and to rob you of your rational thinking all the time. And they will drain your energy. Make sure you're so tired you can't function, you can't do anything. That's what they do. They drain you, drain your life force from you. That's what they do. So you cannot, as a TI, if you haven't got your affairs sorted out by now, you cannot blame yourself. Because that was the plan the whole time. The plan was to incapacitate you, maybe turn you into a perp, because a lot of perps are just successful TIs. Yeah, a lot of them. So do not blame yourself for not seeing things sooner. Do not blame yourself for not seeing how you were being manipulated. A lot of us don't see it at the time. It just is what it is. And when you're being tortured, you're being made mentally ill. You're being made physically ill. You are fighting for your life. And you are animalized to the point where that's all you're doing. All you're doing is fighting for your life. So how are you going to prepare for your death? Do you even want to entertain your death at this point? No, you wouldn't want to entertain your death at that point. So I can't blame you for not thinking about that. But get your affairs in order. Get that shit in order. I don't care what your status is. Again, you're marked for death the second you become a targeted individual. You're marked for death. Decide how you're going to gain your advantage from beyond the grave in a way that they can't stop. That's what you have to do. And once you're prepared for your death, you can find ways to live your life. You can protect yourself. You can get them Faraday cages. You can get but you're going to be getting those Faraday cages, and you're going to be recording evidence, and you're going to be noticing gang stalking. And what you'll notice is that it won't have the same effect on you that it should do, because you've already prepared for your death, and you've already prepared for what's going to happen after your death. You've already prepared for all this. So you don't have to worry or wonder about, oh, what if they kill me? No, you don't have to worry about any of that. You don't even have to worry about being sectioned. There's a power of attorney right there. And as for the paranoid schizophrenia accusation, if I'm not of sound mind, then what am I doing out of hospital? If people want to throw this paranoid schizophrenia line to say that you're not of sound mind, you can easily turn around and say, well, I'm out of hospital. You can see everything that I've managed to do whilst I'm out of hospital, and look at the track record between me being in hospital and being out of hospital. The difference is stark. That's A. B, if you were so concerned about my mental health, and I wasn't of sound mind, why didn't you keep me incapacitated? There's a reason you didn't do that. And it's because I am of sound mind when I'm making this will and when I'm making this power of attorney. Use their shit against them. Use it against them. Do you understand? Use it against them. Be smart. Use it against them. Let them talk all this silly shit that they want, because they're going to continue to do and say stupid things to get a rise out of you. Use it against them. Use it against them. Case in point. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't expected to laugh, but all right. I'm sorry. Oh Lord, I wasn't expecting to laugh. Like, it was thinking about it. It was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. Let me calm down and try to gather myself, all right? So, case in point, all right? Don't let me laugh no more, please. Okay. Don't. I can't handle it. Okay, just, right. They're going to say stupid things to try and get a response out of you, right? Case in point. Ooh, case in point. I can't do this. I need some water. I'll drink some lemonade. I'm sorry. And breathe. Okay. All right. Breathe. Okay. All right. So, case in point, neighbor was coming out the door, and this was like, I think about half hour ago. They came out and they were talking about my social media, and obviously they're scared because they wouldn't feel they need to say this shit, and the gangstalkers handling them wouldn't feel the need to tell them to say this shit. So they came out the door and just like, okay, so I'm sorry. All right, so they basically said, I'm not going to do the accent because that's going to tip me over the edge, right? They said that I don't have a day job and that's why I'm getting my affairs in order. Now, because I'm imagining it with the accent as well. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. Okay? I'm not doing it. I'm not. I refuse. But they said she doesn't have a day job and that's why she can afford to get her affairs in order. So she's making references to my social media, right? And this is the kind of stupid stuff that I'm talking about, right? Because these were the reason why I'm laughing so hard is not just because of the accent as well. It's also because these were the same gang stalkers who said you're not going to get a job. Hello? You do it's like hold on. You deliberately went out of your way to sabotage me being able to be able to do readings. You went out of your way to slowly sabotage that. Then when I tried to get a job at the co-op, there's no jobs available. There was an opportunity for a job. I thought I'd take it, I ain't got shit to do apart from readings and stuff. So I thought, yeah, let me get a job. You didn't want me to have a job then. I tried to apply for a job in London doing psychic readings. Haven't heard back from anybody, which means I didn't get it. And then on top of that, you've got another gang stalker outside, another neighbor from around the way saying, oh, you're not going to get a job and you're not going to scare my cat. How can you make fun of me for not having a job and then deliberately blacklist me from getting a job? Are you okay? And I'm not asking the perps this because the perps are just following orders, but I'm asking their handlers this. Are you guys all right? Legitimately, are you guys okay? What's going on over there? And if I'm not going to have a day job, if I'm not going to have things to do, then shouldn't I find things to do? I mean, even if I don't have a job, there's still stuff that needs to be done, right? As an adult, you guys should know that. You're adults yourselves. You should know that this is exactly what I'm talking about, my fellow TIs, when I say they say stupid shit to get a rise out of you. And the reason I'm picking apart the reason why I'm picking apart that statement like this is so that you guys understand how this gang stalking thing works, how the narcissistic abuse works in gang stalking. Most of the time, they're just saying dumb shit, dumb childish shit. It's the same way a child would needle at you in order to get attention. That's essentially what gang stalkers do in order to get your attention and in order to get your emotions up. It's the same thing that they do. And once you learn to see it as that, and once you learn to kind of really think about what they're saying, it's stupid. It's really silly. And on top of that, having kids, aren't you trying to take away TI's kids? So, there was one of the children said no kids and no job. And now this adult is saying, oh, you don't have a day job. I'm thinking, and this is not towards the perps because they're only following orders, remember? They're following orders. Or they're desperate trying to get attention, but 9 times out of 10, they're just following orders. They don't mean any of this shit. But it's the people who tell them to say this shit that I'm just like, are you okay? Baby, you're taking away people's children. You're trafficking people's children. Are you mad at me because I don't have children for you to traffic? Are you okay? And as for the job thing, also, are you okay? Are you all right? Is everything okay with you? Do you want me to have a job or do you want me to not have a job? What do you actually want? And then on top of that, me getting my affairs in order, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here in Brighton. I'm going to be in London getting that shit done. So I thought you wanted me out of the house to be able to break in and do whatever fucking foolishness that you normally do in here. Do you not want me to do that? I'm trying to understand. This is why you have to pick their words apart. Like, I don't understand. I legitimately don't understand where you're going with this. I don't get where that's supposed to hurt my feelings. I'm just confused. Because there's nothing rational in anything that you've said. There's nothing rational in that statement that you told Perps to say. There's nothing rational in it. You know, there's another reason why I laughed so fucking hard. It was like, there's nothing rational in anything that you've said. And it's supposed to hurt my feelings. You're supposed to hurt my feelings with lack of logic. Like, please. Please. Are you honestly okay? I'm just wondering. Because it seems like, not these people, not the Perps, but it seems like the people behind the Perps are spiraling right now. It's just a question. I'm just asking. Are you okay? So as a TI, you've got to understand exactly how they're using these tactics. And when you really start to think about it, it's not intelligent. It's just moneyed. That's all. It's just moneyed. And, you know, it's an eternal thing. Because, you know, the gang stalking, there are more gang stalkers than TIs for a reason. It's like the heads of the Hydra. Do you understand what I mean? So, you know, it's just like John Wick. You'll run out of bullets before you run out of heads. So there's really no point. But it's just silly. And when you start to like inoculate yourself against the fear of death by making sure you're prepared emotionally and physically, you start to see the taunts for what they are. You start to see your Perps for who they are. It's quite sad, really. They're quite sad. So, yeah. Anyway, I've got shit to do today. Got a meeting to go. Well, I haven't got a meeting to go to, but I have an online meeting to visit. So I've got shit to do today. So I've really got to organize myself. Whew. But anyway, I love you guys so much. You guys take care of yourselves, all right? And yeah, be good to yourselves. Be good to yourselves. You deserve it, my fellow TIs. And if you've made it this far in the video, let me know how you guys are doing. I always want to hear from you. Peace and blessings. Love you. Bye-bye, my darlings.